friends, today we are back for another tier maker for another anime. Last time I did Demon Slayer, ranking all of the demons. This time we are using the website TierMaker to rank my favorite and least favorite characters from the anime Frieren Beyond Journey's End. I've been asking you all to pick which fandom you wanted to see me rank characters for, and Frieren was the first one that was chosen, so we'll be doing Frieren today. I assume if you're watching this, it means you have seen Frieren Season 1. I myself have not read the manga, so there will be no manga spoilers, but there will be spoilers, of course, from Season 1, because we're doing a character ranking. Also, before jumping in, I watched Frieren like maybe a year ago now, and so there are characters I'm not as familiar with or might not have an opinion on, so let's go through this tier list. So, at the very top, we have favorite, top tier, yes. These are the characters that I love, love, love. Next, we have, I really do love them, but they're not like favorite. Next, we have, yep, I like them. You know, they're there. Next, we have, okay, they're a neutral character, don't really have a ton of thought that goes behind why I'm putting them here. They're just kind of neutral to me. Next, we have not a big fan. So I'm not hating on them, but I'm definitely not loving them, but I'm letting everyone know that I am not a fan of this character. Next, we have, who are you again? I forgot. And then lastly, we have hate, which I don't really hate a lot of characters in anything, so I don't even know if any of these characters are gonna fall into that category, but we will see. Lastly, before we start ranking, I wanted to just make it aware that these are all of my opinions, all of my personal thoughts, not yours, obviously, so if you feel differently, just let me know in the comments in a respectful way. You know, we don't need to get all crazy about me hating a character you love or vice versa. So let's get into this. Starting off with Frieren, of course, our main character. I hate her. No. No one should hate her. That was a joke. She is favorite. She is top tier for me. She is one of my favorite female characters that I saw in an anime out of all the anime that I watched in 2024 last year. Love her power scale, love her personality. I love how she's this elf living in a human world in a way where she has to deal with death and deal with people moving on in this form of death that she's unfamiliar with. I have talked a lot about this in past videos, but I love Frieren. Next, we have Fern. I'm gonna put her, and I really do love them, but she's not like a favorite top tier of mine. So I really love her. I love how much she supports Frieren and her entire character development and arc and journey that she's going through, but she's not top tier for me. Next up, we have Stark. I feel the same way about him. I really love Stark. He's funny, and I love Fern and Stark together, so I feel like it's only fair that I put them together and side by side. Next, we have Aura. I am gonna say I am not a big fan of her. I do think that she has a really cool kind of mana scale power and ability, but obviously what she stood for and what she did was very bad. She's kind of a hate character for me, but I'm not like hardcore hate on her, so I'm gonna put her in not a big fan. Alright, this dude, I literally don't know who you are. You probably are. He's probably from the whole exam thing at the end and did not play a major role. I know he didn't pass, so he is going in. I definitely forgot about him. You're just kind of dead, so there's not much about you, so I'm just gonna put you in okay, neutral. Denkin, he's an interesting one because he has this very kind of mysterious vibe that's almost creepy in a way. He's very powerful. He's very intelligent. I like him, but he's a little bit on the creepy side for me, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm gonna put him at light. I think we'll get more of him in the future of Frieren, but he's not like a favorite of mine. Alright, same with this guy. I have no idea who you are, so he's probably during the exam part at the end, but like I have no idea. We have one of our demons from that whole little demon arc. I'm gonna put not a big fan. I really liked that arc, and that's actually what got me into Frieren, so I don't want to put any of those demons into the hate category because they're kind of the ones that got me into really liking Frieren, so I'll put him in not a big fan. This girl, I don't really remember who she is. She's kind of insignificant to me. Same with her. I will say that she was very powerful, but there wasn't really a lot of her character. I do remember her scene with Fern when she was fighting her though, so I'm gonna put her in okay, she's neutral. Aizen, I don't know if I love him on the same level as like Stark and Fern. Maybe I do. No, I like them better than him, but he's not a like character for me. He's definitely, I like him a lot more than like Denkin or other characters that are gonna fall in that line, so I'll put him high up. This character, we just don't know a lot about yet, so I am gonna put him in the okay neutral spot because I just want to know more about him. Ooh, now I really like her. I like her a lot. I liked her relationship with Frieren and everything that went on there with kind of like the backstory and everything. I'm gonna put her in the category of like. I do not love her, but I definitely like her a lot more than just okay. This guy, from what I remember, I didn't really like him at first, but then he kind of grew on me and he was kind of fine, so I'm just gonna put him in neutral, kind of the okay level. Same with this guy, he's gonna go in okay neutral level. I just don't know a lot about him yet, and so I would like to know more. I can't really judge him, so he can go there. We have Gorilla. I believe he was the lost friend of Sign, and I really liked Sign. So although I don't know a lot about Gorilla as a character, I do remember kind of automatically liking him because of his connection to Sign. So I will put him in the like category. Hyder, I love Hyder. I'm gonna put him on the same level as Fern, Stark, and Aizen though. I feel like that line is just gonna be a lot of our main characters that I just really like, but not as top tier as Frieren. Himmel, on the other hand, is going to go in favorite top tier with Frieren. I feel like that's only appropriate. They have to be together. They deserve better. I also cosplay Himmel. He's one of my favorite characters from Frieren, so I would have loved to see more of him, and I love like the flashbacks that we get to him and Frieren, and I'm sure there'll be more of that in the future of the anime, so I'm a huge fan. So also, if you want to see my cosplay as Himmel, feel free to check out my Instagram for more pictures. Next, we have her. She was like one of the lesbians. She's fine, I liked her. Same with, I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit, but like, yeah, they're together. They have history. Basically ice and water, they go together really well. I liked both of them. I loved how they were on the team with Frieren, and Frieren just had to deal with like the menace of those two together. I like them a lot. Kraft, he's another character I really liked. Not a ton on him, but from what we got of him, I really liked him. Land, I really liked Land, and I wanted more of him. He is super chill, he's super smart, he was the person, if you don't remember, that had the clone ability. So I'm gonna put him in the I really do love them category because I just love how in the end of season 1, we learned that he wasn't even at the exam. He was so smart and like unbothered to the point where he just sent his clones and he was just sitting at home, like just enjoying life. So I like him. He's also just like monotone, just so like just unfazed by everything. He's definitely a character that surprised me and how much I ended up liking him. Next we have Lawfen. I remember her, and I remember her being, I believe, in the same group as Denkin, but I feel like she got very overshadowed because Denkin kind of like took all of like the glory and the showtime for that group. And so I'm gonna say that she's okay. Not really much going on for her character in my opinion, but I don't like hate her or anything. It would have just been nice to see more of just her time instead of being overshadowed. Next we have Lernin. He, I believe, was like the first class mage, like one of the oldest ones. He's fine. I don't really know a ton about him, but I do remember him. He's just an okay character, so I'm gonna put him there. This one, I honestly forgot who she is, so I would assume she's at the end during the exam. All these people in this category, feel free to tell me all about them if like I just am not remembering them and they did have a significant role, but I do not remember her. Next we have him. Oh gosh. I am gonna say not a big fan of him. I thought his blood ability was really cool for what it was. Kind of reminded me of Choso from JJK. But at the same time, I am not a fan of blood. So he can go and not a big fan of. I'm gonna put her in the same boat as him. We just have all of our like demons here, so just not a big fan. Oh, her, I do remember from the exam. I remember her being kind of like Momo from My Hero, or at least that's kind of how I saw her as a character. And I do remember liking her. I'm gonna put her at okay. She wasn't like a favorite of mine, but I feel like I could relate to her. She's very calm, like still smart, had an interesting ability from what I remember, but again, we didn't really get a ton of her. So she's just an okay character for me. Orden, I did not really appreciate. I believe he is the one that kind of took advantage of Stark and made Stark kind of pose as his dead son, just so it would like make him look better. And like, I know that whole situation was like so sad, and like during wartime there's probably some like historical meaning behind all of that, but that's just not really something I liked, I remember when I watched. So he can go and not a big fan. Same with this guy, obviously antagonist. So this guy, Richter, if that's how you say his name, he's the one who fixed Fern's staff. I'm gonna put him in the like category. Other than that, there wasn't a ton to his character that I totally remember being fixated on, but I do appreciate him for fixing Fern's staff. Without him, she probably would have been in a rage for a lot longer than she already was. This guy, I think he had the cool scene with like the flowers, but he's just kind of okay. Next we have Sign. I really, really love Sign. I hope he finds his friend. I hope nothing but the best for him. I hope we see him in the future of Frieren. I'm sure we will. His like goodbye to Frieren and Fern and them was like so sad, but like also I'm glad that he moved on and was able to look for his friend. I could talk about him for a while. I really do like him a lot. Next up we have Sense. There's something about her that I really, really like, and I think it's a lot more than a lot of these characters here. I'm gonna put her in the love category. She's still mysterious. We still don't know a ton about her, except for her ability and how intelligent she seems. She kind of reminds me of Henry from Black Clover. And if you don't know, I love Henry so much. It's probably just the hair that's making me think that. But I really did appreciate her as a character, and I do want to see more of her. And she's one that I think we'll get a lot more on compared to like, obviously like all of these characters that were just kind of like a minor person to throw into the exam to basically fail. Next up, we have Siri. She my one and only hated character? Oops. Okay, but am I right to hate her? Like, I just don't like her. What is her grudge with Frieren? She needs to get over it. Am I right or am I wrong? I would love to hear your thoughts about her in the comments, because I personally I really don't like her, like, at all. Next up, we have Stoltz. I obviously like him. He's Stark's brother, so I like Stark, I like his brother. Their whole backstory is tragic, and it's so sad. So he's going in the liked category. And then next we have this guy who I literally have no idea who he is. So we're moving on from him. We are going to this dwarf. I am gonna put him in the okay category. I do remember him being an old friend of Frieren's, so he's cool, he's chill, he's pretty neutral for me. Next we have Werbil. He was really interesting. I don't know where I want to put him, if I want to put him in like or okay. I'm gonna put like, because I like his stance on like life versus death and the way that his ability is connected to that. His whole fight with Ubel and everything, and I don't know, I just think he's interesting. And lastly, we have her. I know I'm probably gonna get hate for this, but I am not a big fan of her at all. I think her ability is really cool, but I do see her as being a very manipulative, sassy kind of character. She's the stereotypical like girl character we get in all anime that I'm not a fan of, so she is going to go there. We did it! We have wrapped up all of Frieren, all of the characters that were on this list, so let us recap real quick. We have, of course, Frieren and Himmel at the top. I kind of knew that going in. We have all of our loved characters, our liked characters, and then our okay characters, and then everyone basically from there doesn't really mean a lot to me if I'm being honest, but yeah, so that is going to wrap up my character ranking from Frieren Beyond Journey's End. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to let me know in the comments your own character opinions, and let me know what anime or what fandom you want to see me do next as far as character rankings using this website, TierMaker. I really enjoy making these videos. I think they're fun and I love getting my opinions out there, especially when maybe they could be a little cursed or unlike the ordinary. So feel free to let me know in the comments and I will see you in the next video. Bye!